Hi classy bookworms, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber and I'm going to be sharing with you my most recent book haul. In my last video I told you that I would be sharing my book haul with you when I got roughly 9 or 10 books. This time I have 9, so I thought it would be time to do a book haul. I don't want to do book hauls where there's this just ginormous pile of books. So when I get roughly 10 books, then I will do a book haul. I will add all these books down in the description bar so you can go back and reference them if there is one that piqued your interest that you would like to add to your own personal TBR list. So let's get started. The first one I mentioned in my June TBR video, because it's one that I'm going to be reading for my June TBR, is this one, The Iron King by Julia Kagawa. And I have the second book, but I didn't have the first book. Oops! So I just got this one yesterday. It arrived. But this is a story about a girl named Megan Chase. And when she was 6 years old, her father just up and disappeared. In the book, she is now 16 years old, and she's starting to notice this strange guy like following her, and her best friend is all of a sudden becoming a little overprotective of her. What she doesn't realize is that her father is the king of this mythical fairy land, and she's not aware of it. But apparently this mythical fairy land is in war. So now she's about to get caught in the middle of a war. I'm assuming she's eventually going to figure out who she is, because I'm assuming based off the description, the synopsis here, she doesn't realize or know anything about it. So her whole world is about to change, I'm assuming, when she finds out who she is, who her father is, and what's going on. So I'm excited to read this book. There are several other books in the series. So it sounds like a fun book. And it has fairies, so who doesn't love it? My next book I picked up, I kind of wanted to just find a fun summery love story book, so I picked up this book. It's called My Life Next Door, and it's by Huntley Fitzpatrick. And I'm not gonna lie, the reason why I picked up this book is because my very first boyfriend, he didn't live next door, he just lived down the street, and our very first kiss, and my very first kiss ever, was in his backyard up against the fence. What? Look at that. I think they took a chapter from my journal and they wrote a book about it, or at least they created the cover for it. So this is about Samantha, who falls in love with her next door neighbor, Jace. And Samantha comes from a family that's very organized and structured. Her mother's a politician, and then you've got Jace, who comes from just a wild, crazy, I'm assuming like normal family. But when you come from a very orderly, structured home, you seem to be drawn to the chaos side that's more relaxing. So she seems to want to always be over at his home. So they fall in love. She has to keep it a secret from her mother. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe her mom doesn't like them, or she just has to keep up appearances because she's a politician. I'm not really sure, but she has to keep her romance, her relationship with Jace, a secret. But then something happens, and now she's kind of faced with a decision. I'm not sure what happens, so that's why we're going to read the book and find out. But fun love story, and it just reminded me of me. Okay, next book, totally different, is this book. It's called Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. No way, I didn't even realize Fitzpatrick, two totally different people. That is so cool. Okay, anyway. This story is about two characters, Nora and Patch. This would be Patch. If you can see on the cover, his wings are like shedding, and I don't know what's going on with him. Something's happening. I think he likes Nora. He seems to pick on her at school. He aggravates her. She doesn't like him. She's annoyed by him. But then she says she notices these V-shaped scars on his back, and she's wondering if he's one of the fallen. I'm assuming fallen angel. is my guess, is my prediction. So I think it's just kind of their story, his backstory, probably what has happened to him, why he, I'm assuming, is a fallen angel. Hopefully it's a good angel, not a bad angel. So anyway, it's kind of just, I think, their story together. And I'm anxious to find out what happens. There's several more in the series as well, which I kind of like, reading a story in a series that's already finished and written, because I don't have to sit and wait for the next book to come out, and I get impatient. So luckily these seem to all have been out. But anyway, hush hush. The next book I want to, or that I got, was Of Poseidon. Isn't that cover so pretty? Oh, I'm getting a phone call. We'll talk to you later. Oops, sorry about that. It's just my husband calling. I'll just call him back later. This story is actually really cool, or cool sounding, I don't know. So this is, I'm assuming, Emma in the picture, and she is just going along on a beach. There's another character called Galen, that's how I'm pronouncing his name, and he is the Prince of Cyrene. I have a hard time with difficult names because I always pronounce them wrong. So he is a prince of this kingdom called Cyrene. I'm assuming it's an underwater kingdom. And he is looking for a girl who can talk to fish. He bumps into Emma. He feels like she's the girl he's looking for. However, she doesn't realize that she has this capability. So it's his, I guess, him trying to convince her of this talent and skill set. He starts to fall in love with her, but apparently that's not allowed. I'm not sure why, but apparently he's not supposed to fall in love with her. We'll see. Sounds like a fun story though. There's also several more books of Triton and of Neptune as well, so I can just burn through these puppies too. There is this book of Poseidon by Anna Banks. I got this book and I've already read it, and I have mentioned it before, but it's A Mad Zombie Party. It's the 4th book in the White Rabbit Chronicles, which is really good series. It's about, it has an Alice in Wonderland theme to it, but I wouldn't really tie it to Alice in Wonderland. So if you're gonna read that series with the thought that it's gonna be have a lot of Alice in Wonderland themed to it, it doesn't really, but I still liked it anyway. It has zombies, or slaying zombies, there's love stories, there's romance, so there's a lot of fun things happening in that book. This happens to be the 4th book. It is told from the perspective of Frosty and Camilla, who are 2 of the Slayers. They are characters in the book, but they weren't the main characters. Allie and Cole are the main characters in the first 3 books, but this one is told from the perspective of Frosty and Camilla. So if you're interested in that series, this is a good series to get. And like I said, I've already read this book and I really enjoyed it. Next, I have The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. And this is actually a big, huge, fat book. They had it in triplicate, so I just went ahead and bought it. All in one big happy family. And it wasn't very much, it was only like $10 too, so what? How can I resist buying 3 books for $10? Nobody. We'll see if I enjoy reading a book like this gargantuous. I've never read a book this, actually I lied, Anna Karenina I read, and that puppy is big too. So, and it was a hardcover back book, so that was a big book, but I think this one passes Anna Karenina. Anyway, this is a love triangle with Belly, which I'm gonna say right now, I do not like that name. I instantly think of a stomach and anatomy and the insides of human body, and I hate the title. So I may have to come with a different nickname so I don't think of guts when I say her name. So Belly, and then we've got 2 boys, Conrad and Jeremiah, who are brothers, and there's a love triangle with the 3 of them. This takes place on the beach, and so this is a really fun summer read. If you're just looking for something, I think, that involves that kind of a setting, a summer beach setting, and a love story. Who doesn't love reading about love stories in the summertime? So if you're looking for a fun summer read, I would probably suggest this one. I haven't read it, so I can't really say, yes, it's amazing, but I have seen other people's reviews and they all have loved it. So pick this one up and see if you like it. I can't wait to get through it. I'll tell you how I feel about reading it. This huge book. But I'm excited. I like Jenny Han. Right now I'm reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before right now. And you know what's funny is in that book, the main character, one of the main characters is Josh, and one of the main characters in this book is Jeremiah, and both of those are my brother's names. So I wonder if Jenny found my journal and is taking names from my journal too. I don't know, people are following me. So anyway, it is a little weird reading stories that have my brother's name in it too, especially if they're love stories. I'm like, ooh, I don't. But he goes by Josh and I call my brother Joshua, so it's two totally different things, right? Next and last, finally but not least, it's a box set I picked up, Morgan Matson's books. Since You've Been Gone, Second Chance Summer, and Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I thought it was really pretty box set, so I picked it up. All three. I've heard a lot about Since You've Been Gone, probably the most. This is a story about two best friends, Sloane and Emily. Sloane apparently disappears. I'm not sure what disappears means, but before she disappeared, she left a to-do list for Emily, a 13 to-do list, item to-do list. I'm guessing Sloane is kind of the more adventurous, outgoing one out of the friendship, and Emily's not. That's what I'm gleaning from the synopsis. And so this is Sloane's way of pushing Emily to do things that she probably normally wouldn't do. I don't know where Sloane is and why she has disappeared, but I think it would be kind of fun. I don't know what the 13 items are. She's listed a couple on the back. One of them's go skinny dipping, kiss a stranger, you know, apple picking at night. But I thought it would be kind of fun to get the list and then actually do the list ourselves, like create the list. So that may be another video that I do, is the 13 item checklist of Sloane. That is such a fun idea. I came up all by myself. Okay, so anyway, another fun summer book if you're looking for a summer read. The next one is Second Chance Summer, and this is about Taylor, who, it sounds like she has some emotional problems. Says she doesn't handle disappointments or rough things very well. She tends to run away, and it sounds like something happens with her dad. I'm assuming he gets diagnosed with something, cancer or something, because it says they're going to spend one last summer together as a family. So they go to their beach house. She's reconnecting with friends that she has lost track with, and I think kind of her and her family dealing with whatever it is that has happened with her dad. I'm assuming something like that. If he only has like a year, they only have a year as a family together, I'm assuming something has happened with her dad. So they go to their beach house and spend the summer there together. So another fun summer read, but it sounds like it could be maybe a little bit more emotional or a tearjerker, especially if someone's not gonna live in the end. Ooh, I don't know. So another good summer read, but it could be a little bit more like pull at your heartstrings. And then my last book is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. So this is a story about, obviously, Amy and Roger. Amy is moving, her family's moving across country. Her mom, I should specify. Her dad passed away in a car crash. So her mom is moving from California to Connecticut. Amy is driving their vehicle from California to Connecticut across the entire nation. And she happens to have Roger comes along. He has to travel across country too. And he has some issues, some baggage, it says in the synopsis. And so I think it's just their adventure driving across country. I'm assuming they fall in love or something. They're holding hands in the picture. That doesn't necessarily mean they fall in love. They could just end up making a really good, strong connection with each other. I'm assuming Roger's her age. It doesn't say, it just says Roger's a family friend. So who knows what that means. But I'm excited. Could be fun. A fun road trip book. So another great summer read. If you're looking for something fun, this one sounds more on the adventurous side of your summer reading. So if you like that traveling and just the adventure of being on a road trip, then this would be a great book suggestion. Again, I haven't read it, but if that's something you're looking for, this might be a great one. Okay, well that wraps up my recent book haul. I hope there was something that inspired you or you were interested in reading. I have a lot of reading to do, so I'm gonna wrap up this video and wish you all a wonderful, happy, fun summer day. It's a beautiful summer day, so I'm anxious to get outside and start reading. You guys know I love reading outside. It's my favorite reading spots. Anywhere, throw a picnic blanket down and a book and I'm good. And probably some Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper. Okay, have a wonderful day and I will see you guys soon. Bye.